Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a holiday Q&A with questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. Tons of Christmassy holiday questions and a couple of homeschool questions, so you guys are my people. I have my tea in my little Merry and Bright mug from Holiday Street Co. and I'm excited to be using this tonight. I'm actually having to film this at night because my kids, a lot of the questions were like about their presents and things, and so I didn't want them to hear, obviously. So if you guys like a cozy, chatty Q&A, then give this video a thumbs up. Go make yourself a cup of cocoa or tea or something cozy and stay tuned. Before I get into the questions, I wanted to say thank you to Olamigo for today's woman-owned small business giveaway. Olamigo is a monthly Spanish subscription service. That's a tongue twister. A monthly Spanish subscription service for your home. Now, I use the Explora box. That is for elementary school age students, but they have preschool, toddler, they even have Spanish sensory play. It's an amazing company and I'm really impressed with these ladies and all that they do every month. So the winner of today's giveaway is going to win a Venezuela box. Every single month you travel along and you visit a different Spanish speaking country where you play games and do crafts and learn all about that country and also different parts of the Spanish language. My kids have vocabulary every single month that they're learning, as well as just different interesting things that they're learning about these different countries, and they are having so much fun. I buy the sibling kit as well so that each of my boys have their own craft and have their own little booklets that come along with it. So I'm going to show you everything that is in this Venezuela box. This is actually my first time looking at it. I just opened it. So this was from November. I did hit pause from our subscription for the month of December because we were backed up a little bit. We do Spanish with this about 2 days a week in our homeschool, and it takes us a month, if not a little bit longer. It's chock full of great games and activities, and so we want to be sure to use it all up before we move on to the next box. And so we actually still have the Venezuela box to do, and so I didn't want to receive an extra box during the month of December, so it's very simple to just pause my subscription for a month. So this is, yes, Venezuela from November. And you have this little welcome note with the QR codes, and then this shows you everything that's in the box for the month. We have the activity guide in here. It tells you about the crafts and the activities. So this has a bilingual book, Venezuela Reader, the activity magazine, weather board game, and all the activities like the vocabulary cards and dice that go along with that. A weather graph, weather wheel, weather craft, cultural craft, crayons, and a flag banner. So I love that these have the different QR codes. I have not stumbled across something that I couldn't pronounce that wasn't included on their different QR codes. All the books that you receive and everything can be read, and you get help as a mom, as the parent, from their different QR codes. So then here are my boys' activity books. Here is the bilingual reader. Every single month the books that you receive are bilingual. And it's a full, you get a full-size book. That looks really fun. And then you get this. So then everything else in here is everything that you need for all of the activities, all the different crafts and things. And like I said, I get 2 of everything by paying that little extra upcharge for the sibling kit, but it's so worth it because it's so nice for them to each have their own crafts and also their own cultural items. That's important to my boys, that they each get the little trinket that's included every month. So yeah, that is the Venezuela box. We have enjoyed this so much. I love anything that is no prep or low prep. This has been fun for me to rediscover the Spanish language as well. It's a bonus to us that they get the different cultural information, because originally I just wanted this for the Spanish language, you know, to learn the Spanish language, but it has been such a fun bonus that they are learning all about these different Spanish speaking countries as well. They are going to have a wealth of knowledge from these boxes. And like I said, it takes us about a month to get through all the activities. And so they are just being immersed in this culture and the language throughout the course of a month, and it's been cute listening to them try to say little phrases to one another that they're learning. It's been a really great subscription service for me and for my boys' ages and just for our homeschool in general. So one winner will receive the Olamigo Explora Venezuela box. I'm really excited to see who wins that. All the info is in the description box down below. Thank you so much, Olamigo, for offering today's giveaway. All right, so I asked you guys on Instagram for any holiday Q&A questions, and I got a ton. So I'm not gonna be able to go through all of them, but I'm going to try to at least kind of scan through and see if I've answered some similar ones and try to get to as many as possible. So the first question right off the bat here is, what is your favorite Christ-centered Christmas movie to watch with young kids? Christ-centered. My kids like The Star. It's obviously nowhere near accurate, but it does point toward the story of the manger. Favorite Christ-centered movie? Well, right now we really like the pilot of The Chosen. The Chosen is a story of Jesus choosing his disciples. It's an amazing show. Their pilot episode was the Nativity story, so that's a fun one. We've watched it a couple times this Christmas already. What are your kids' favorite traditions? My kids' favorite tradition is probably our Christmas pajama box night, which is the night we decorate our tree and we get Chinese food and they get their pajama boxes, and it's just festive and so fun. They also love our minivan express night, where we surprise them and you know, they think they're going to bed, but then the car is already like got popcorn in it and we go look at Christmas lights. That's a fun one. They also like our Polar Express movie night. My kids just love traditions. So they're constantly like, oh, when's the night we're gonna do this? And when's the day we're gonna do this? So they definitely just like Christmas. Do you miss making, this is from my sister. I didn't realize she wrote this. Do you miss making your sister match PJs and do choreo on Christmas morning? So I used to choreograph Christmas dances with my sister. She's my younger sister, so this is what happens. You just have to do what your older sister says, no matter how ridiculous it is. We literally were still doing this when I was like 18, my poor sister. So we would wear matching pajamas, and the last one I remember was when I was 18, and I choreographed a dance to one of Hanson's Christmas songs, and yeah, I pretty much still remember all the moves too. Yeah, love it. Yes, I do miss it. And if you ever come to Florida during Christmas, you bet you will be doing choreography on Christmas morning with me. What Christmas traditions have you carried over from your childhood? Let's see. Number one is that at some point during the Christmas season, we have pizza and chocolate milk. It's kind of weird sounding, and we don't really eat much dairy in my family, so that's super weird, but we have chocolate almond milk, and we do though always order in Lou Malnati's pizza. They deliver it frozen from Chicago down Florida, but I'm from Chicago, so pizza makes sense when you consider that. But it's just like one of those random stories of like, it was Christmas Eve and my mom and dad were like, what do you want for dinner? And my dad said chocolate milk, or my dad said, well, pizza, of course. And my brother, I wasn't born yet, said, well, of course, chocolate milk, or something like that, and chocolate milk or whatever. And so then it was Christmas Eve, my mom was wrapping presents, they ordered a pizza and got chocolate milk, and thus a tradition was born. That's how the best traditions are born, in my opinion. We've carried that on. Now my brother and I and my mom and dad still at some point during the Christmas season try to have a pizza and chocolate milk night. This year, because of my mom's injury, it's going to be on Christmas night. She usually makes this beautiful crown roast at Christmas and all the fixings, and she's not gonna be able to do that this year. So my brother and I were like, what if we do our pizza and chocolate milk night on Christmas night? I just got online and ordered the Lou Malnati's actually the other day. Super excited. I'm gonna tuck that away for safekeeping in my freezer, and hopefully my mom will be home by Christmas. That's our goal. If not, we will hold on to the pizza until she's home. My brother doesn't live in town anymore, and so they'll be traveling in for Christmas, and we will have pizza and chocolate milk at some point. So that is definitely the main tradition I've carried on from my childhood. How much prep work is exploring nature with children? Homeschool question. It's like either no prep work at all or tons of prep work. It's totally up to you. the reason that I got Exploring Nature with Children was to be an open and go guided nature curriculum for myself to do with the kids. I needed something that was just point blank, simple. I love it because you literally open it up, it tells you the theme, it gives you a poem and a piece of art to look at for the week, and also some extension activities or other references from different books that I already have on my shelf. The part that I really wanted was just the guided nature walk. So it will say, you are studying lichen. And then it will say, while you're on your nature walk, look for this, this, and that, and this, and that area. And it will give you a little excerpt to read about what you're, like a little bit about lichen. Like, did you know lichen was this, this, and that? And it's actually blah, 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 and the air quality and yada, yada. It's like one paragraph, and then the guided nature walk is like one paragraph. So it's so perfect. Now, one of my girlfriends and I have teamed up, to do it with our kids every other week. So I'll host it and then she hosts it, you know, 2 weeks later. So once a month I host it, once a month she hosts it. The other 2 weeks we do it on our own. So on the weeks where we do it on our own, I open it up and I read to my kids and I'm like, blah, 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 here's our nature study. Let's go for a walk down the road and do we find anything? And the weeks when we're doing it together, we make it like a full nature tea time and do some of the extension activities and the crafts and read the poem and even add on to the curriculum. And so it can be whatever you want it to be. I have a whole highlight reel on my Instagram stories of different Exploring Nature with Children days when we're together. I should add in the days that I'm doing it on my own because it's not as nearly as impressive as those days, but it's probably more realistic for everyone. So I have two friends who I get together with every other week. One is nature and one is history, and just the accountability makes it great, and it also makes extension activities super fun for my kids that I wouldn't otherwise do. Homeschool curriculum update, what's working well or not. I'll have to do that in a whole nother video, but pretty much everything. We didn't really change anything at all this year. Next, what do you think your children's favorite gift will be this year? Definitely for Eli will be his Lego set. For Jesse will be his Nerf gun. Annie's will probably be the Barbie, probably just everything. And Isabella's is not going to be her main gift. She's going to be most excited about those James Herriot books because she's wanted them for a really long time. So that will be their favorite Christmas gifts this year. Do you let your kids decorate anything? I let my kids decorate everything. The only thing I do is our Christmas village because it's very breakable. My kids do everything else. I didn't touch a single ornament on this tree. They're pretty much all down here and grouped together. I don't decorate anything. I just let them do it all. I don't actually love decorating tons and tons of stuff around the house, so they do, and it's great. Do you have any untraditional foods for Christmas? So I said the pizza already. I think that's pretty untraditional. And then Chinese food, because on the night we decorate our Christmas tree, we always get Chinese food. We only get Chinese food once a year, and it's on the night we decorate our Christmas tree. And the story of that I'll share really quickly. The first year we were married, no, the year I was the year I was pregnant with Isabella, which was also the first year we were married. So that Christmas, first of all, we were really broke, and there was like this really cheap Chinese food restaurant near our house. I was like 6 months pregnant and just really wanting junk food, and we had gone out to get our Christmas tree, and so I was just like, on our way home, let's call such and such a restaurant. So we did. It was like a treat yourself thing to buy like $15 in Chinese food because we were so broke at the time. And yeah, so then we started doing that every year. Like the very next year we were like, oh, remember those donuts we got from the Chinese food restaurant last year that when we got our tree? And we were like, oh, let's get them again. And so now we eat Chinese food once a year, and it's all in the name of tradition, but it just feels like Christmas. Like, it just feels like Christmas when we have takeout Chinese from the hole-in-the-wall place. So delicious. Let me know down below, you guys, if you guys have any untraditional Christmas foods, because I just think it's funny, all the different just unexpected things that people do at Christmas. So let me know down below what your guys' untraditional Christmas food is. All right, I don't even want to tell you what just happened. I just paused the video thinking my phone was dying and went and plugged my phone in because all these are screenshots. I took screenshots of the questions, and the battery was dying when I took the screenshot. So just another day in my life. Okay, so next question. Are you leaving any Christmas traditions that you usually do out this year? Yeah, anything that has already been like decided upon, you know, to be left out by the community, of course, like parades, festivals, all of those things obviously are not happening this year. I wasn't sure. There's this walk through Living Nativity that we go to every year a couple towns away, and they naturally space you out by family, so you go through the whole story slowly. So I was kind of surprised to see that they canceled for this year as well, but I think everyone's just in that better safe than sorry stage right now, which I totally understand. So that was disappointing. Also, we're just leaving out like the hype on everything. We're doing our Polar Express movie night, and we'll probably do like a themed Grinch night, but we're not putting like all the hype on the movie nights and stuff this year, just because this year just feels different and kind of slow and peaceful in our home. And it's paved the way for new memories to be made. So sometimes like I personally just get so focused on making something a tradition that I don't leave room for growth, like as my kids get older or as like John and my desires change. I don't leave room for those to take root because I'm so tradition focused. So I'm just trying to enjoy that this year, and so we are just kind of not doing so much hype this year. Also, my mom broke her knee and her shoulder a few weeks ago, so she's not been around at all. So everything's just weird this year. Everything just feels different. So there's a lot of stuff that, yes, we're leaving out this year. Do you have, okay, favorite holiday food? Do you have a favorite tradition over all the traditions you have? I do. My favorite tradition is angel tree shopping for Salvation Army. We love Salvation Army, and my kids and I have been bell ringers as well, but this year we're not doing that. But this year we decided to, instead of just doing like 2 kids like we usually do, we had the kids each pick a kid their own age. And John and I took them each out on a dinner date, and then they got to shop for their child. And that was really just a special experience. But my favorite tradition in all of that is the night before we go deliver these to Salvation Army, which we usually do on St. Nicholas Day, which I saw some questions come through about that, so I'll answer that in a little bit. We gather around the bags of gifts and we have each kid pray for the children that we sponsored. So this year we had one each of their age, and then John and I did one as well. So John and I prayed for our child that we did, and then each of the kids prayed by name over their child and just prayed for their year, their upcoming year, and their families, and that, you know, the gifts would make them understand Christ's love for them. And it was just so special. So I think from here on out, Lord willing, we'll always do a child for each of our children. Obviously, John and I paid for the gifts, like the kids didn't do that, but it was sweet because a couple of them came to the store willing to spend their own money, thinking that that was how we were doing it. So that also just was so sweet. But it was special to have them pick out gifts for the kids their age, because it just made such a connection for them. And they also know that the kids that we shopped for are getting more this year than they are getting under the tree this year. And surprisingly, they all had such a positive, upbeat reaction about that. They were so excited for these kids, and I love that. So as we're trying to go down to like that 4 gift rule, I'll link my video up here in the corner. As we're trying to cut down, I was concerned about the kids seeing so much more going out. Obviously, that's the lesson I want to teach them anyway, but their reaction to that right out of the gate was so exciting to me. So still get to shop, even with trying to be like more minimal at Christmas time. So that's my favorite tradition all around. My parents loved Salvation Army, always gave, you know, cars and good donation, like anything that was like valuable that they didn't just want to like give away, like furniture and things. If they could make sure it was in good condition, they would always have Salvation Army pick it up. I just grew up with them really valuing their work and their efforts, and we've just known people whose lives have been changed through Salvation Army. So that's my favorite. Do you have scheduled me time away from the kids to do errands and regroup? I have a sitter who comes twice a week for 3 hours and each day, and I have her come during the daytime. So I can get my work done, like YouTube and Usborne, and sometimes I'll run errands. Sometimes I'll just be here working on housework. She'll have them in the pool or outside or inside playing, and the kids just know that when she's here that she's in charge, and I kind of go about my own business here at the house. So sometimes that looks like me doing work or doing laundry. Sometimes it looks like me going to the Halo Therapy spa while I'm out running and doing a Target pickup. It just is what it is. So that's my weekly time, but I mostly use it to get ahead on other work. What are your family's favorite Christmas movies? The kids love Polar Express. The kids love The Grinch. That's pretty much it. We don't really watch a ton of Christmas movies. How do you budget for extended family gifts? I don't think we can do all the cousins. This is a great one. So the kids, and especially cousins, are already getting so many things for Christmas. So what we started doing about 5 or 6 years ago was we had each of the kids pick their favorite book that they read that year, write a note on the inside of it, and gift that. It's totally free. It's a used book, and the cousins, they wrap them, and the cousins all exchange them, and they get so excited about what each cousin picked for them. So it's like they draw names from a hat and give books. And that's been great. So my brother is a homeschooling dad and a fellow book nerd. So we love that in our house. What do you do when your kids are ripping through gifts too fast and not appreciating the gift? So the rip through gifts for us are stockings. They'll wake up, rip through the stockings. I just know that, you know, it is what it is. It's gonna be crazy. My boys go crazy. Bella savors every moment, and Annabeth will open one thing and then be done. Then we have breakfast together, and then we sit down and are intentional about opening each additional gift. So it's very slow after that. So they get the stockings, then breakfast, then we slow down. What is your favorite Christmas memory with your family? I'm assuming you mean with my now family and not my growing up family. That's how I'm gonna answer this. That's tough because we have so many Christmas memories. I had so many years where I just did Christmas alone because of John's job. It's really only been the last 2 years that we've had him around at Christmas. So everything was just special and took more effort from me. And therefore, you know, I took a lot of pride in what we accomplished as a little unit without him for a long time. But that being said, my favorite memory is always all the Christmas Eves when he would get off work and meet us at my family's Christmas party. And then we would just drive home together, and just that Christmas Eve feeling of Dad's home now. Now it's Christmas. His crazy work season was over. It always ended on Christmas Eve, and we just had the next 24 hours as a family. Favorite feeling still to this day. I don't think I'll ever feel that feeling again because he's always with us now. But that was that's a good feeling. Is there a tradition that not everyone is excited about, but it means something to one of you? That's a good question. Not everyone is excited about, but it means something to one of you. I don't know. I don't think so. Nope. Cleaning before Christmas, maybe? Getting rid of old stuff? My kids don't love that. How do you budget or try to keep costs down, especially with Santa gifts? So I'm gonna circle back to that question. So here's your warning to remove little ears from the room. How is holiday schooling going for your family this year? This has been the best December we've ever had as a family. Specifically, I think because of the way we decided to homeschool during December this year. How do you avoid the new toy burnout if they play with it that week and then never play with it again? This is why I love educational gifts so much, because I can just use them and recycle them through our homeschool a ton. But I mean, a lot of times it's like from aunts, uncles, and, you know, extended family that give them something. They don't know what the kids will like. And that's just is what it is. If the kids open the package right away, then I can't do this. But what I really like to do is I really like to take those things and tuck them away, and then we pull them out just all year long. My boys have a closet full of different, like, you know, like little dig kits and kind of building things that are similar to Lego and stuff that we pull out all throughout the year, and they love that so much. What are your Advent traditions? Well, it's a long one. That's a long answer. Goodness. Well, we do Unwrapping the Greatest Gift as a family every year, which is a great resource. I love that. And then personally, I like to do an Advent study on my own. And then we are this year doing Slow and Sacred Advent. So on Sundays, we're lighting the Advent candle. Other than that, those are our specific Advent traditions. When do you take the tree down? December 26th or December 25th, when everyone goes to bed if possible. I love taking the tree down. I love a fresh start. I love a clean slate and not too much decor in the house, so as soon as possible. How did you hear about the shoe putting out holiday? I forgot the name of it. St. Nicholas Day. Again, I'm gonna answer that at the end. I'm gonna give you guys the moment you need. What holiday treats do you always make with your kids? We always make a ton of cookies and give them to friends and coworkers. Always peppermint bark is one with the graham crackers. We always make fudge from the family fudge. Her fudge, Rocky Road fudge, I think it's called, is so good. You know, stuff like that. It's the same thing everyone else makes, I guess. What is your favorite Christmas movie and song? My favorite Christmas movie is Serendipity and The Family Man, both of those movies. If anybody disagrees that those are Christmas movies, you are dismissed. John doesn't think they're Christmas movies. I love those movies. So I turn those on, he falls asleep, and I wrap presents. What is your favorite family tradition? That's the Salvation Army thing. I already answered that. Okay, how do you make your home feel festive when you aren't feeling festive yourself? So I would say that in the last few years, we've really focused more on Advent and the reason for the season than Christmassy festivities, which has helped so much just with finding purpose in the season versus trying to fabricate joy from a depleted place. I think the end of the year, winter, the time change, it's always difficult to just like make joy happen on a Tuesday night, but you have kids who have that expectation and so forth. So just kind of focusing in on the purpose of Advent and also just naturally slowing down with nature. Like I said, it's like almost winter solstice. Naturally, you know, our bodies and the world is just designed to slow down, and we like push the gas so hard. So just trying to lean into that feeling of wanting to slow down and not fighting that feeling, because that feeling is when we're not feeling festive. But it's like we don't have to always feel festive. We don't have to always be like pumping up the Christmas jam. So I mean, also though, you can always just throw a candy cane at your kid and call it Christmas, call it festive, or make a cup of hot cocoa, or like new to us this year, having all the Christmas puzzles out. So that also helps too. And those are all positive, like, you know, kind of slow down and be together things. Okay, I'm gonna circle back to this Nicholas thing. So we're gonna call him Uncle Nick for those of you who didn't listen and get kids out of the room. So we have never really done much with our Uncle Nick. We have always done Nicholas Day, which is December 6th. I don't know where we first heard about this. We've been doing this since Isabella was like 3 or so. And what we do is we follow the traditional, like putting their shoes under the tree, and in the morning they have candy and little, you know, books and things like that. That has been a way for us to still acknowledge his existence, because they're gonna see decorations everywhere. While also sharing with our kids that he had the same spirit of, you know, the Lord that we have in us, which is a spirit that is loving and giving and serving others. And so then we make that the day that we focus on giving back. So it's the day that we give, we go drop off gifts for others, we do some shopping for others, we try to buy somebody's food. You know, sometimes there's like those random acts of kindness that you find online, taping quarters to gumball machines, things like that, just being mindful. Last year that was the day that we did the bell ringing. It's just a wholesome way to include that tradition for your kids if it's not one that you celebrate within your family, so that it kind of gives them, especially for your younger ones, that way they're not spoiling anything for anyone, but it also acknowledges that he was a person, and it's a great tradition to carry on. So I noticed your tree is beautifully lit. How extra lights do you wrap the trunk? No, this tree was a gift from one of John's clients who bought 2 and just didn't feel like returning it. It's like way more expensive than we would ever pay for an artificial tree. And we're just thankful, and we're gonna just keep this as long as it'll stay lit up. It's just really nice, and again, out of our price range, so probably that's why it's so pretty. I'm gonna try to go really fast here because it's gonna be really long. Christmas movies, Christmas memories, stocking stuffers for husbands. I haven't started on him this year yet. A lot of questions. Why do you have shoes under the tree? How do you decide on your gift list? And this is another one that goes along with that budgeting question. I start shopping in like June. I'm always putting away little gifts for Easter, summer surprise party. So it just kind of naturally start finding, I just always shop deals. Like anytime I find something that's a deal, I'll grab it. And then if I don't give it to my kids, we'll give it to someone else we're shopping for, or Toys for Tots. If it doesn't work out, like if my kids aren't into it anymore 3 months later, since I shop so early, then it's a great Toys for Tots option. So that's budget. And then deciding on gifts, this year I'll put a link again to what I got my kids for Christmas. We did the 4 category thing. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Those were a good range of questions, and they're all pretty similar from that point on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little holiday Q&A, and that you had a little bit of downtime to watch this video. It wasn't a very like exciting one that was gonna motivate you or anything, but I hope that you just enjoyed that little chat with me. Make sure that you guys enter that giveaway from Olamigo. Thank you so much, Olamigo, for offering that giveaway to my subscribers, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, friends.